Good. I think we got ahead on Kansas, but we focused a lot on ourselves and what we need to do to get better. And I thought they had a good attitude, good energetic practices, so that was encouraging.
Yeah, you looked at film on Kansas, and can you talk to us about concerns on offense or defense?
I have. I think their last game was not a true statement of who they are as a football team. They had 6 turnovers. It kind of got out of hand. But Coach Beatty, I know him very well, does a good job motivating. I thought last year they were more excited to play than us, so be excited for this game. And so I think they're better than probably their record indicates and probably the scores indicate. And they've just had some tough breaks. So I know we'll have to play really well to give ourselves a chance.
Anything on defense concern you?
Well, last year I thought they got after us. That was probably the most disappointed I was in any of the games was that their defense wanted it more than us. They got after us physically, schematically. Coach Bowen had a great plan, and so we got outplayed and outcoached. We've been taking this personal, and I think the players are ready to get out there and see what we can do.
You feel like the players from last season take that game personal too? You feel like it irks them seeing the performance they put on in Lawrence last season?
Yes. Yeah. If anybody was there, which y'all probably were and watched that, it was unenergetic. It was bad coaching, bad playing on that side of the ball. Defensively, we played great. Offensively, it was a joke. So we've been working hard to try and correct that this year.
From what you've seen on tape through the first 3 games and what you see on practice, how far do you feel like you are from a complete game and being able to put that all together?
Not far. We just have to do it more consistently and then handle adversity. Those are the biggest things I see. At times we play great and get out to leads, but consistently hanging in there and doing it over and over and over, we're not there yet.
You feel like looking at the non-conference slate throughout the Big 12, now entering conference play, this is the most wide open you feel like you've seen the league since you've been here at Tech?
I always feel like it's always wide open. You never know until you get to conference who's good and who's not good. A lot of teams develop as the year goes on. Those first 3 games aren't always an indication of how good you're going to be. I think OU was a great lesson last year. They played Texas early in that conference schedule and don't play very well, but go on and blow everybody else out the rest of the deal. So we just got to keep getting better. It's going to be an exciting league this year, there's no doubt, but I think all those teams are going to get better as it goes.
What did the defense work on to try and get better at stopping the run?
Yeah, just once again, consistency. I've said it over and over. When we have something bad happen, we can't let it turn into 4 or 5 things in a row happen that are against us. And so played well there at stretches that last week, but gave up 2 late touchdowns, gave up the touchdown at the end of the first half. We don't do that. We're feeling a lot better about ourselves, and they know that. So the main focus over there is just handling adversity better.
Curious your thoughts on the virtual reality. We saw a piece come out from Vice Sports earlier I guess it was into last week. But when you were first approached with that, was that something they had to convince you very much on? I mean, I know you're very innovative in what you like to do offensively.
I had read an article on Carson Palmer, Monday morning quarterback, that went through his week of preparation, and I've known him a long time, had a lot of respect for him and the type of player he is, and was just fascinated by some of the statements he made about it. And then when we were approached, wanted to do it, wanted to get around it and see it. And once I put it on, I mean, I was sold. It puts you at the quarterback position, and it's like a flight simulator for a pilot. I mean, you're getting those reps mentally that there's no other way to simulate that.
Where do you think you've seen the most progression from your players and getting that different perspective that they just hadn't seen before?
For quarterbacks, the operation, you see the play and then you signal it out with the things on. You can see the leverage of the DBs, you can see the front, you can see the blitz, see the safeties. So I've just seen at the line of scrimmage much better command, much better pre-snap recognition, and they continue to get better and better as they use it.
How much do you feel like that's helped Pat check into different plays, work the safeties? I mean, have you seen that help in his development particularly as well?
I mean, you can't point to that as being the sole thing, but obviously y'all are watching how he's playing, and he's been doing that since this spring, and I think it's had a pretty dramatic effect on him because he's got basically double the reps he ever has, because every practice he puts that on, and now you get those reps as well. And I really think that's helped him.
So that's without contact, right? He's just
Yeah, he's not getting hit. He can do the signals. He can do his footwork. He can get his eyes where they need to be, and you don't get beat up.
Coach, you feel like your team's excited about playing a little bit different on a Thursday night, how that changes things?
Very, very. It sounds like it'll be a great atmosphere. The ones that were here at the last Thursday night game, it was rocking, and they expect the same thing. So it's a good change-up. Only a couple games on TV. They know it's a good showcase to show who they are. And so I have felt a good energy this week.
How do you feel like the special teams have performed so far this year?
Great. I don't think we punted the ball great. Missed a couple kicks that you'd like to have, but as far as coverage units, phenomenal. We'd like to get a little bit better on returns. Haven't had a lot of return opportunities, but the coverage units have been as good as we've had around here.
What's Steele's status today?
We'll get him out there and see, but I expect him to play.
Did he practice Saturday?
He did.
What about Zach Barnes? What is his status?
If he can go, he'll go. He's been practicing, but we want to make sure he's full speed. I would expect him to play as well.
I hadn't asked about him in a while. Can you update us on Connor Tyler's status now?
Connor is rehabbing, and I wouldn't expect him to play this season.
Did he have another surgery or not?
He did.
It's obviously still very on in David Beatty's career. It's going to be a heck of a turnaround for him at Kansas. But from what you've seen, in his development as wide receivers coach at A&M when you guys were together, to now as the head coach at Kansas, where have you seen him taking this Kansas program and the way that he's tried to change the culture there in Lawrence?
Yeah, you watch the way they play. They're playing hard, whether it's first quarter, fourth quarter, doesn't matter the score. Great energy on the sidelines. Y'all see that tomorrow. He's a great recruiter. He has to build it. It takes time with these things, but he's doing it the right way.
From being around him, what quality did he have that just sold guys to be able to come wherever he was? Because when you hear people talk about him, there's that energy that people thrive off of, it seems like.
Yeah, I think that's it. He's very positive, energetic. What you see is what you get, and I think the players feel that. He's going to push them hard on the field. He's going to give them everything they got, every practice, every meeting, and he's always got a smile on his face.
Off-season, you guys made a priority for Pat to cut down his interceptions and improve his completion percentage, and now he has 2 INTs and 71% completion rate. Does it appear to you that the message has kind of gotten through that he is kind of balancing, knowing when to take a chance versus when to be safe?
Yeah, I hope so. The times I've really seen him get himself into trouble was like the Arizona State game where he feels like he has to do it all, feels like it's slipping away. We're not stopping him. We're down 10. Still got to stay within yourself. And so we haven't had too many of those situations thus far. So we'll find out when we're in that type of situation. But he has protected the ball well. He's been very accurate, and I think it's a credit to him because he made it a priority.
Coach, Kansas turned the ball over 9 times in the last 2 games. Is that even more of a point of emphasis in all the meetings with all the positions that's been a vulnerable spot for them and maybe an opportunity for you?
I hope so. We haven't got any in the last 2 games, so we definitely need to try and create some. But more than anything, I've talked to our team about that's because of those turnovers. Don't look at these scores or look at the wins and losses, because if you turn the ball over that many times, you're not going to win the game. So I don't think it's a true indication of who they are. But yeah, we'd like to get our turnovers since we haven't had any in a couple games.
Same notion. Have you talked to your team about, even though it's a 16-1 spread over the history of time, it just seems like it's been slow or lethargic or something along those lines for whatever reason, no matter the coach, and maybe this is the year to change that?
Yeah, I haven't looked much past last year, just speaking offensively. I thought defensively played great last year, really won the game for us. But offensively, those guys that were on that field, which there are a bunch of them, they know how poorly we played and got out-coached, got outplayed. They were tougher, they were more physical, and so they don't forget that.
In regards to your team being able to force turnovers, do you feel like defense is doing, some things with some good habits, and it just hasn't gone that way the past couple games? Or do you feel like there's areas you guys can get better at?
We can definitely improve, but we played two offenses that protected the ball really well, just didn't turn it over. Both quarterbacks kind of had career nights versus us, and that's a credit to them, and then we have to do a better job of being disruptive and making plays.
Anything else? Just curious your thoughts on Les Miles being fired and really, I guess, just the monster that college football has become, where if you're not winning at the highest level, it seems like no matter the success that you have at some of these different spots, it just might not be enough, and what that's like from a coach's perspective.
Yeah, I've always liked Coach Miles. I think he's a phenomenal coach. I'm sure he'll land on his feet very soon. I thought he did a great job there, but you know what you're getting yourself into, and nobody's going to feel sorry for somebody making $5 million a year. And it's part of the profession. So you do the best you can. You put everything you have into it each and every day. You treat the players the right way, treat the coaches the right way. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I think you can walk away, in his case, with a lot of money and a smile on his face.